visitors to our mansion.
Oh, that was perfect timing when we started the live stream and the video said welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? How's your projects coming along?
Here before you are the occupants of Bear Manor. Each has their own story, and each one.
I'm gonna try to follow this on my laptop too, so I don't miss any questions. Because when it shows up on my phone, they appear and they disappear. Cool. All right. Let's see if that is very hard to see. Hey, Leaf, how are you doing? I wonder if I can brighten up my phone settings at all. That looks really dark. And here's the usual thing of me trying to do the zoom and it doesn't work good. Okay, well, this is our preview night. This is the main show we started with 2 years ago. Took 5 months to build because lots of custom work, custom videos. So like the portraits you just saw, a lot of the ghosts and effects were done by us and our family, with us as the actors. And then original music composition, voice actor, all that. So this one that we've been running for a couple of years is kind of a really premium one because it took 5 months and plenty of time to get it just right. Most of the other ones that we did, we put together in 3 weeks time frame. So that's kind of, you'll probably be able to see the difference between something that you take a lot of time to get perfect versus just putting it together quickly. So this one will probably still run this year, and then we've added, how many new ones have we added this year? Too many. Like 5, I think, new shows, which is too many. But what I think we're going to do is alternate nights. We're going to keep doing this one and the new Stranger Things one on like even nights, and then odd nights we're going to do the Disney ones. We've got 2 Disney shorts, kind of vintage shorts from the 50s or 60s, and Pirates of the Caribbean, and then one that's from, it's a Haunted Mansion story that was told as a story back in, I think it was 1969. So we'll do Disney night and then all the others another night. So we can we're just testing it all out tonight to see what will go wrong, because something always does go wrong, usually on Halloween. If you can relate to that, then make me feel better. Type a comment, give me a like, and say, hey, yeah, things don't work on Halloween all the time for me. So I'll just let this run for a little while we let people come in. And we do have some of the stuff in the backyard, but what we do is we have this main projection running every night in October, unless it's really bad weather. And then the backyard, we have a little yard haunt that people can walk through that we have open on the weekends. And it's got smaller effects usually, but we also have our Lux Omni in the back. And I haven't put together much of a show for that yet, but we threw something together to put on the back of the house. So that way we've got projection mapping on all sides of the house, and then small projection scenes throughout. So like, for example, this is my nephew actually designed this whole show, but that's him as the guy playing the piano. The ghost you saw a few minutes ago walking across, that was my wife. I feel like in some of our behind the scenes videos, you can see us walking down these actual stairs with a green screen, so it would line up perfect. What's that?
You were floating.
Yeah, I was walking with the green screen behind her, so it was kind of funny. One of the challenges we had this year too, our projector box is not a great box, I'll be honest. It's ugly. We put it together, figuring things out as we go. And so 2 years now, it was all warped and kind of falling apart. And so I had to rebuild it while trying to make sure that my map was going to stay in exactly the same spot, especially for a show this detailed. I got really close, but it's not perfect. It's going to have to be good enough, but it's so hard to get it just right. If anything moves, a tiny little movement at the projector in position, angle, then that means a big change on the house. So these ones that are really heavy on details, it can be a challenge. So let's show you some of the Disney ones. Actually, we've got a neighbor with his truck really loud right now, so maybe we'll go in the backyard. Should we go in the backyard, show him the backyard stuff?
Sure.
And then hopefully that truck's gone. Come back and show these. So let's go for a walk in the backyard. We have a long ways to go back here still before we're ready for October, but we're pretty close. So you can't see it in the dark very good here, but this entrance will have a projection on the fence. And then they enter the manor here. We've got physical walls, but then we'll add the digital overlay. Got some different portraits. These are the dueling portraits that you can get on our Patreon account. I'm the actor on the left and my old man is the one on the right. And then we also have, after this one, it plays an Atmos Effects portraits one too. Those are really cool. So we'll let those run in here. We also have our Haunted Mansion clock that one of my sons made that will have a projection of a hand going across it, just like on the Haunted Mansion ride. Let's see if it'll switch to the other portraits.
It is.
There we go. So this is an Atmos Effects one. Oh, I hear Pirates of the Caribbean. That's from the front projection.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, why do I feel like I'm in Disneyland all of a sudden?
Yeah, I just heard that, and I'm like,
So this is a fun one from Atmos. All the ones from Atmos are fun though, right? Atmos is the best. All right, let's go walking through here. Can't see what's in here very good. You got that flashlight with you?
Yes.
In here, we've got an old organ, and I don't have the projector set up yet, but we'll have, yeah, you can turn it on. We'll have a shadow of an organist on there. There's videos from last year where we had that, but we'll have an organist projected on the wall there. And last year we had some projections in the window to make it look like it was storming outside. And then people will come into the backyard. Got our graveyard. Yeah, the floating pets one. I haven't actually seen the floating pets one yet. I'm dropping the ball. I've been so busy.
oh, that
Got some Haunted Mansion inspired tombstones.
one. Wait, is the floating pets out?
I think it is.
Oh.
Is the floating pets one officially out?
I don't know.
Well, our cats like the projection, so I don't know if you can see the... There's one of our cats.
Yeah, I can see on there.
Okay. So this is our graveyard, and we'll probably do some digital effects in here. You can see our talking jack-o'-lantern there in the distance. We'll walk up on him. Got our pumpkin patch. We need to count our pumpkins officially, but I think we were 300. I think we're right around 300 jack-o'-lanterns.
Do we count the stack of them, or does that count as one?
I think the
I
stack
don't think so.
of lanterns count as
Yeah.
individual jack-o'-lanterns, I think.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys think? Is that stack of lanterns 1 or is it 5 jack-o'-lanterns?
I think 5. Oh,
So we got a lot of jack-o'-lanterns. And our 12-foot scarecrow, we're having power problems with him. Did I just see his eye come on just a little? No, maybe not. I'm having power problems. 5, okay. I agree. It should be 5. Okay, and then on the back of the house, this is why we test 2, because I think my blue light over here from the graveyard is
yeah.
too bright. I
Yeah,
think it's overpowering the projection.
Wait, I can see the projection from the other side of the house.
Do you want to go block that blue light for me for a second, and we'll see if the projection shows up better? Because I did kind of blues on the projection too, which I didn't really think about, because that's not going to compete well with the blue light. We'll check back on that here in a sec. Got another Atmos video here. This is the one where we were testing the other day. He's cool.
I really like it.
I like him too. For this scene, we're using an AXA P6X, I think is their model number. It's a 1000 lumen portable projector. It's got a battery, so we're using that for this scene.
For a second, I saw the tree not moving.
That blue light is still very bright over there. And then here's Mordrum I'll come over by where the sound is. We got two ways we can run him. We have the digital puppet that's live so we can interact with trick-or-treaters, or we can just have these pre-recorded stuff play. I think I do need to shrink the face a little. His face is looking big, but he's looking pretty cool. How many projectors in all do we use? I'm trying to decide how many I'm willing to put out. We have probably low 20s, like 20-something projectors.
16.
We used 16 last year?
Yeah, I think we created them this year, and I think it was like 20.
Most of them are cheap. Like Amazon had these small projectors on sale once for like $10 each. So I snatched up a whole bunch of those, and they work fine for small scenes. So I've got a bunch. Most of them are just small, cheap projectors, but they work. Boy, it's hard to bring those in every night too. So we'll see how many I end up with. If we have one in the front, 1, 2, I don't know if I had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll probably be around 10 this year when we're all done. All right, is that any better with the blue's still shining quite a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to do something different with that blue light, because the blue light and the blue scene on the projection just kind of blends together. Maybe we just bump up the blue light a lot and bump up the contrast so we can see the trees better. We've got the headless horseman there on the house. Yeah, the interactivity, I love the interactivity. It's fun. We had like a magic mirror, one that we had probably 15 plus years ago, and that was one of the most popular things. People just sat there for hours just talking. So that's cool. We're excited for that. Yeah, this one will interact with the people this year. They'll be interacting this year. This is just pre-recorded right now for us, and two of my boys are actually, they got their first job at a haunted house, and that's where they're at tonight. So we've got this on autopilot, and then I got this guy's here helping me out. All right, and then at this point in the haunt, they're going to enter the spooky forest. I'm going to step on a cat. We'll have another projector on those pumpkins with the jack-o'-lantern jamboree.
Oh, we should have got those on.
And this is very Sleepy Hollow inspired, this scarecrow. That one's yours, you made, right?
What?
You made this one?
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, I appreciate that. We recently went to the Oogie Boogie Bash, the Villains Grove, and they do an awesome job. So we had that in mind as we were working on our spooky forest. Lots of colors. Fog would be even better. We'll add some cool sounds. And then this is a fun new projection we just added this year. I'm going to put a link to this too. Stephen Doyle did this. It's a spooky tree projection.
Heed my words on this dark night.
Probably want some ambient light to see the rest of the tree, huh?
Take flight. Ghosts wander
I might smooth out the texture a little too so it shows up better.
And the dark becomes sanctum.
If you look at some of our older videos, this tree stump, it has a hole on this side of the face, and we actually had a computer monitor in there with an owl, so it looked like an owl was sitting in there. So we turned it around to project on
So
that.
gather your courage and stay to the path. Stick to the light. Be safe.
So that's going to be cool. And then we got our headless horseman here from Home Depot. There's the back of the house, the projection mapping. I think we're definitely going to have to bump up the brightness on our project. I literally put this together. Well, my wife and one of my sons and I kind of threw it together really quick, so that's got some work left. And last year we had in here the Candleman. We didn't do anything that fancy this year because, to be honest, that was really difficult. So we just put some skeletons in here. It was really cool to do once the Candleman because of the lore, the Disney lore. if you watch some of those videos, it was a concept character from Raleigh Crump, one of the original Imagineers that worked on Haunted Mansion. And it never got put into the Haunted Mansion. It was just a concept character. So we created a physical prop, good 6+ feet tall, and then projected on it from a mount. Probably can't shine the light up there. Up on there. We had it mounted up there. And then augmented reality style projection mapped on the Candleman. But it was so difficult to get it to match right every time. So that was, name brand of the lights that you use. And you know what, I should know, but I'm selectively cheap. And when it came to lighting, I just snag stuff whenever I can find it, like yard sales. So I have no idea what the brand is of those. Some of them change colors though. So we've got like, some of these are just kind of old floodlights that I pick up at different places. And then these ones are LEDs that change color that I got years ago. I don't know where. It's hard to find good lights.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, they look like that. And yeah, that's a bone next to it. It's Halloween, right? So that's legit. Oh, that's bright now with the flashlight. All right, so there you go. There's the backyard. Still got a lot of work to do. Gonna have some few things in here too. And right
Not
here.
here's the truck anymore.
So now hopefully the truck is gone and we can finish making sure all our shows are good to go. It looks like right now it is on the Haunted Mansion story. I'm gonna put this tripod down so you're not jiggling so much. And we'll see how these scenes look. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, that's a pretty good spot there. So this is the one from, I think it was 1969. It follows the same thing as the Haunted Mansion ride, but in story format. Ron Howard's the voice of the boy in here.
We can wait inside until the storm's over. Not me. I'm not going in that old house. I'd rather stay out here and get wet.
It's very similar to the Haunted Mansion, but it doesn't have,
There.
the outside doesn't look like
don't
the
be
current
afraid.
Haunted Mansion ride.
Good evening.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
The door closed.
I'm gonna look through the comments here to make sure I don't miss anything.
I can't get it open.
There's some overlap between this show and our main Baird Manor one, obviously. I reused the same portraits. I think I might fast forward through some of this. It's about a 30-minute story, I think, and so it's so hard to decide what you're going to cut out and how to trim it, and it's still kind of longer than I'd like it to be.
And the truck's back.
And the truck's back. TikTok generation 2, everyone's got short attention spans, so I don't know. A lot of these are probably too long.
Mike, we shouldn't have come in here. I'm scared.
Let me know how the LED light show thing works. It'd be so cool to do both of them. I know Luxido's actually working on a way to synchronize lights, so that you can do the Christmas lights and you can do the projection mapping together, which is kind of cool.
Ran out of the room into the dark.
Projectors are you using? Let's show you what projectors we're using. So the big ones for projection mapping are Optimas. So let's show you our setup here. Okay, go ahead and shine the light on that box. As I said, it's an ugly box.
We tried to paint it black last year, so it's hard to see.
Yeah. So we have this. It's up about 5 feet off the ground because of the corner of the house there was casting a shadow onto that wall. And then to answer your question, this is an Optima EH412. It's 4,000 lumens, 1080p, and it's a short throw. The one on the back of the house is very similar, but it's a laser projector. It's the Optima ZH406 ST with the Omni, with the Lux Omni. So those are the two big brand name ones of those. And then I've got 3 AXA AAXA projectors. And then I've got several Luxido projectors that I'm going to incorporate in the back of the show somewhere. Yeah, this scene here is one projector.
Crazy. I don't believe what I see.
And that's why you need to have one really bright, ideally a short throw projector, which means you can be closer to the object for a bigger picture. And if you can get 4,000 lumens, then you can do this. Then it'll work. And all the angles that we do in the house are all done in Adobe in software, or in Luxido can do it too. All right, I'm gonna sit down here again so I'm not wiggling the camera.
And as they turned to run out of the door, another ghostly manifestation appeared and blocked their
There's the
way.
Hatbox Ghost, one of my favorites.
He was a cloaked figure with an evil, grinning face. A hat box hung from his hand. His head disappeared from
Where
his
did the
body
remote go?
and appeared.
What?
I dropped the remote for the. Oh, there it is.
And now you dropped it.
Now I dropped it.
Hold the candles.
And
I'll try to open this window.
it obviously looks better in person too. My camera on live
There's a
stream
balcony out here.
makes it look pretty dark. So this is harder to see on a live stream, but
It's in the back
Hey,
with
lead to the
projections.
graveyard.
yeah.
Come on, it's the only way.
But when we do regular videos that aren't live streams on YouTube, you can look at those and see how it looks. Yeah, Hatbox. He's the best. I just like the Hatbox. The Hatbox is my favorite. I've got some more elements for this scene that I need to add now too. This hobby's never done because you always just find more cool things that you want to add.
Did you enjoy your visit?
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, if it's already working with the X lights, then I guess there's not too much ambient light then, because that would be ideal. Have Christmas lights and the projection mapping. It's never too early for Halloween, especially when it takes this much work, because I'm definitely not going to spend all this time and effort for a week. So it's got to run all month to make it worth it.
Pleasant dreams.
Christmas I start too early too. I'm one of those. No, I'm actually starting on Christmas shows right now. So on the website jollyholidayshows.com, we're working on the Christmas shows right now for it. And I start November 1st for Christmas. Starting listening to Christmas music. I'm one of those. All right, let's try the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
What?
We're on Christmas right now. Right on. Oh, hey, that was Becky. Yeah, she's working on Christmas projection mapping while I'm live streaming. Pirates. At the beginning of the year, I had 3 different pirate shows I wanted to do. I got one of the 3 finished. We wanted to have one that was the ride from Disneyland, one that was the movies, and then one that was a generic pirate one that we wanted to spend a lot of time on, so it would be at the same caliber as that Baird Manor show. Software I like the most is Adobe After Effects. Luxido's very simple, so if you wanted to just kind of learn how to do it, then the software is simple to use. There's a point at which you'll outgrow it pretty quick though, and then you can go to something like DaVinci Resolve that has a free version, or Adobe After Effects, and between those two I don't know which one's better, but my preference is After Effects. So and I do have a link on the website to online courses for both of those different tools if you want to learn how to do it. So can you smell the Pirates of the Caribbean water when you watch this? Cool. Let me know if you have any questions with it. Projection mapping is frustrating and so amazing once it comes together. So fun.
After it's worth it.
It's worth it after, huh?
There be squalls ahead.
And I like when I can finally start putting it on the house, because staring at it at the computer is not the same as seeing it live. So this is cool. Then we can also see how it looks in real life. Sometimes on the computer it's hard to tell what things are going to look different once it's projected on an actual surface with different textures and angles and colors. I am fortunate our house is pretty light colored, so it's pretty easy to know what it's going to look like, but still, it's like, okay, that's how it looks in real life. Yep, start Halloween early, start Christmas early. When did we start this year's shows though? Like Christmas break, we started doing some tests for a pirate show. Like late December, early January, you can see some videos when we were testing some other pirate scenes, and we haven't given up on those yet. We're still gonna do them. What stopped us is we had a hard time finding good videos for pirates. There's pirate stuff everywhere, so you wouldn't think it's that hard, but the scenes we wanted with pirates, I couldn't find them. And so what we're probably going to do next year is make our own effects, make our own pirate effects to be able to do that show next year. And this is my second favorite ride at Disneyland, this one. I'll give you one guess what my favorite is, my number one favorite. See if the truck stops. It's getting noisy again. I don't know if you guys can hear the truck. Yeah, noisy truck.
Say something in the chat if you can hear.
If you happen to be live streaming from your truck, can you turn it off or leave?
They left.
They left.
They're
Okay,
on.
okay. Well, hey, give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Yes, Haunted Mansion. It's the best too. Halloween Horror Nights. I haven't done Halloween Horror Nights. We just did the Oogie Boogie one though. So yeah, the copyright thing, I'm kind of studying up on it right now. Like for our show here, we're not charging for it, so people can come see. Then for our website, we do it as a service. So if you own the videos, we're providing a service to map that to your house. We're not actually selling the video content itself. And if there's areas where it's kind of a gray area where we might be crowding that line, then we're trying to back away from that line to make sure we're being fair to people that create content. But for doing it like on your house like this, it's I just lost the word. What's the term for it? Fair use. Can't remember what the term is, but fair use. There's been guys doing this as projection mapping with Disney content for 10 plus years. So. All right, maybe I'll fast forward this a little. This is another one that I had a hard time deciding what to cut, but it's too long probably. Yeah, they're pretty strict. And if it comes down to it, like the mouse always wins. So even if I think I'm kosher, if they say I'm not, then I'll comply.
I just saw it go.
And that's the other benefit of That's the other benefit of doing our own characters. So the Baird Manor one are all original videos, original characters, and so I'm gonna be moving more and more that way too. We're gonna make more of our own content, which is it's fun to make our own, but it's also a bummer because there's already so many good Disney shows that it'd be great if we could just do them. It's a big cat. Oops. Hit fast forward. I hit the fast forward button. There we go. This part on the ride, I remember getting stuck on the ride for about an hour watching those three guys. It's a good song, but an hour of it, it's getting old. So you can't see on the live stream very good, but we replaced our shingles last year with a light colored shingles. They needed to be replaced anyway. I didn't go out of my way to do that. But it made it so you could see the roof stuff really well. So the things that projected on the roof look real as well, which is cool. And we've got that flicker effect with the lighting, so within After Effects there's a lighting effect that you can do, and you add an expression, a wiggle expression, to make it flicker like that. I wonder if I can get a better camera for live streaming so that you can actually see what it looks like in real life. And then there's some things since we made the show, there's some more things we added to it that I need to go back and put in there. Yeah, the dog's coming. We have some Jack Sparrow parts in this show that I still need to add. There's just so much to do still before October, and October's a week away. So in one of the versions of the show we did for someone, we had Jack Sparrow running away from this barrel after it lights on fire, kind of like he's the one that lit it. So I want to put that in here. Other places we get content, though, I have paid subscriptions to a bunch of different places to be able to create content, and much of that where it's copyright safe, we'll put on our Patreon account for people to use, because one of the big time killers with doing this hobby is trying to find videos and pictures that you can use. So as we're finding those, prepping them, and where we can safely with copyright laws, then we make those available as a thank you for Patreon subscribers. All right, let's see. So there's 2 more Disney ones, and then we'll do Stranger Things. Stranger Things is really cool. So we already did that one. Let's find. Okay, so these 2 are. How long does it take to create the show? It really depends on the show. So the main Baird Manor one was 5 months, but it had lots of detail and custom work, lots of things we had to create. One like this, if you can really dig into it, 1 to 3 weeks dedicated time to build something like this. A big part of the time is not the mapping, it's finding the assets and getting them projection mapping friendly. Yeah, the Journey song. I almost used that in our projection show. Oh man, Stranger Things was tough to decide what to put in and what not to, because there's so many things we could do in there. It was difficult, and I love that version of the Journey song they did. So we got 2 of these old Disney shorts. This one's called Lonesome Ghosts. I used to watch these as a kid while carving pumpkins every year. It's one of our traditions. I never thought back then that I'd be projecting it on my house. How cool is that? And we don't have to watch this whole thing because it's also a little long, but let's show you a couple cool things we did with the projection though. Alright, one of the things that's fun is if you watch the front door. So we made the door look like it falls open, which is fun. The enclosure, so the Lux Omni comes with its own enclosure. That was nice. The one I'm using for this is an ugly wooden box that we put together. It's a little bit embarrassing, but it works. There goes the door again. Good, I'm glad it takes you back. I'm pretty a nostalgic fellow, so I like these ones from my childhood. I think I'll skip forward to the end on this one. Do you like this one, or is it just me because I'm an old nostalgic middle-aged dude?
I like it.
You like it? Okay, good. I'm gonna fast forward to the end, I think. Then we've got Easter eggs. Sometimes we put Easter eggs in our shows. So the Easter egg here is a portrait from the Haunted Mansion, Master Gracie. We in our Grinch show we have some Easter eggs too, if you can find them. We have, it's the original cartoon version of the Grinch, but the Grinches from the 2 other movies are hidden in there. One of them's pretty easy to find. The other one's a little harder, but if you watch our Grinch video, you might be able to spot both of the Grinches.
What is it?
I know you. You're a bull.
Yeah, I'll show you the box again here too, in between shows. The design we used for the box was from digitalpressworks.com. I just did a crummy job on it. His design's fine. I just didn't do a good job. Alright, I like when he falls down the stairs because we got a little effect with some flour. I've seen those Deer TV ones, and that's another area where I'm selectively cheap. I've got all these projectors. I should probably just do the same thing. There's some things I spend too much money on, and other things I'm like apps. I don't know if you're like me, but an app, if I see an app costs $3, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Which is silly, and I've got a $1,000 projector. Got the little footprints going down our sidewalk. Alright, let's do the other Disney short and then on to Stranger Things. So these were, as I said, some traditions of ours growing up. We had a VHS tape that would have Lonesome Ghost, and then it would have this short here, Trick or Treat. And then it had Sleepy Hollow, and so we'd watch that every year for Halloween.
Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat for Halloween.
So if Becky's still on the line, she did the facade for this one.
If we want to keep life serene, trick or treat, 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 all night through. Little scalawags with beans.
So what were some of your guys' traditions when you're growing up?
When ghosts are gathered by the scores, ring the bell on your front door.
So I'm really cautious with, to answer your question about the front hole on the box, I'm really cautious when it comes to this stuff. If the weather's bad, I just bring it in. I'm not willing to risk it. So if it's a bad enough storm, yeah, the water would get in through that hole. And you can try glass. It's just a little unpredictable for me on how much it'll refract the light. So I just bring it in. I don't want to mess with it. So we will be running this every night, but if it's really bad weather, then I'm just bringing it in and playing it safe.
So we have an Easter egg for this one.
Thanks, Wolfgang. I appreciate it. We do get a lot of people that come to watch, which is cool. We had the cops called, was that last year or the year before? Because of traffic. One of the neighbors had to call the police because people were blocking the driveway. And so the police showed up. They were really cool about it though. He came up to me and he said, first of all, this is awesome. And then he just asked that we encourage people to park out on the main street. Oh yeah, the gorilla one. I forgot about the gorilla one. It's another Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna go find that one after this. We're gonna go watch the one with the gorilla after this. I'd completely forgotten about that one. I love the flashbacks. Yeah, I don't think I've ever shown you guys that one. He's like, Donald's listening to the radio, and there's an escaped gorilla, and the gorilla gets into his house. So in real life, watching this one though, I know the door's fake and digitally opening, but it still tricks me every time.
Yeah, he was going inside, then the door opened. I'm like, what?
And I think I'm sitting here just watching, enjoying the show, and I'm like, oh, the door opened. No, oh, it didn't really. It gets me every time.
Just for that, I'll help me get that.
All right, let's see. This time it's digital. I know it's digital. It's not going to trick me this time. Yeah, Becky just said she's going to go open it just to mess with me. I won't know what's real.
If you both open the door at the same time. Is it real or is it fake?
Now, lots of times there's little details that probably nobody notices but me. But like you notice when the door opens that the light on the ground, the light shines out onto the ground in front of the door like it would in real life. Nobody notices, but it's a fun little detail. Then we got the flickering light here with that wiggle effect in After Effects, just like in the Pirates one. We got someone that stopped out front and is backing up now going, what the? It gets really busy here on the weekends in October. I'm always worried about our poor neighbors. So neighbors, if you're watching this, we appreciate you and we're sorry for any traffic that we're causing. We're adding some more signs and stuff to try to keep people to respect driveways. And hopefully not get the cops called.
Watching this, put up a sign saying, "Don't park in their driveway."
Yeah, they're very patient with us. And I don't have the FM transmitter hooked up tonight, but I will when we start running it officially. So I've got the audio coming from, I'm actually playing this one off an old Roku player I had lying around, and then it splits the audio to an external speaker and an FM transmitter. And that way people can listen to it if they're standing in person or in their car. And then the Lex Omni, you can use something built in called Lex Radio that allows it to go to their phones, which is good too. All right, fair use. That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah, fair use. That's the one. And a lot of these little scenes of these guys looked like he was actually ringing the doorbell, but we used DaVinci to remove the background. And then right after we did a whole bunch of work with that, we found a better tool that actually does a better job removing backgrounds. So I want to redo that too. And another thing that's hard to tell on the computer screen is when we add like a little shadow like on that picture frame in real life, it really makes it seem 3D. It makes it pop out. It gives the illusion. When we watch the Stranger Things one, you'll see when the Demigorgon is trying to push through the wall in real life, that, or in person, that looks real, very 3D.
Hocus pocus magic shower, put his feet within my power.
I'll probably get some kind of a copyright claim though on YouTube just having this playing in the background. I'll have videos flagged that I, like if I'm going to the store looking at Halloween or Christmas stuff and there's something playing, then I'll get flagged for that. Yep, I'm here in Utah County. So if you're in the area, swing on by to see it. We've actually got quite a few projection mappers here. So Digital Pressworks is just about 30 minutes south of us here. And yeah, he's one of the OGs. He's been doing it for over a decade. And then we have another guy that's about 20 miles north of us that's also been doing it on his house for over 10, 15 years. Another one in that same area, Jordan Nash, has been doing it for quite a while. And then we've got Jeff Ropolato up about 60 miles north of us. Yeah, he's an awesome contributor to the community, has lots of videos that he provides for free. Just spun up a new Facebook group. So lots of projection mappers here in Utah, actually. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Yeah, that would be great. Christmas time. It's Christmas. It feels weird to be working on Christmas shows right now. But the more runway we can get, then the higher quality of show we can do. You know, like I said, these ones are probably about 3 weeks of work, hard work to try to find and get everything ready. But if it's a large-scale project, lots of detail, or difficult to find assets for it, then it can take months. So the more runway we can get, the better. Yeah, he started a group. It's Digital Facades. Trying to remember what the entire name is. I'll look at it right here on my laptop. Hang on a sec.
Goodbye, kids.
So it's Digital Decorating Facades and Assets. Is his new group. And it's got kind of its own specialty with it, because there's already projection mapping groups out there, but There's some cool new AI programs where you type in phrases and an artificial intelligence will create an image from what you type in. And so a lot of people are playing with using artificial intelligence to create the textures and the facades for projection mapping, which is kind of cool. I've started playing with it myself. I've got 3 or 4 AI programs. I just need more time. I think it's going to be something I do in January. Start really playing around with it. Okay, we've been through all the Disney ones, I think, right? So, Stranger Things. This is kind of our main event for this year. We did all 4 seasons, which made it even just that much harder to try to decide what to include. There are so many things that would lend itself great to projection mapping that I didn't know what to include and what to cut. Cutting was very difficult. So we tried to keep it as short as possible, and I think it's still 10 minutes even with that. But I think this one will be really popular. This is fun. Really like it. And Stranger Things is one of those shows that you ever start a season and the first couple episodes it doesn't really capture your attention, so you give up, and then later on you finally muscle through and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I was missing. That's how Stranger Things was for me. I quit the first time, and then I went back and watched it again and kind of muscled through it, and yeah, now it's great. And it's also getting me in the nostalgic feels. I've been listening to 80s music, like synthesizer music. Sorry, Becky, for my synth music, but I'm starting to listen to that now after Stranger Things. And we went and watched E.T. to see all the different influences E.T. had on Stranger Things. I see Becky walking around over there. I think she's going to be in the Upside Down. Right? It's so cool because it's got stuff that'll appeal to my kids, the upcoming generation, and then it's got all those things for us too at the same time.
Yeah, the sound on that. Will, are you there?
Yeah, the music it's cool.
Sounds from that.
Yeah, we were missing the sound on the smaller version of the Demi organ, huh?
Where are you?
Not the one on the wall.
Oh, good,
Not the
good,
one on the
good, good.
wall.
Sounds from that.
So these textures I still have on our Patreon account for now. I'm hoping I won't run into issues with that, with copyright, but a lot of these assets are up there.
Right here. I don't know what that means.
We also watched Beetlejuice last night,
Tell me
so
what to do. What should I do?
the boys
How do
found
I
it
get to you?
interesting that
How do I find you? What should I
Adelia
do?
is the same person as Will's mom. That makes me feel old. This is the one that in person, it looks like it's actually coming out of the wall. Maybe it's hard to see, but if you look right there.
Yeah, that's Atlas. It's not Demi Dog.
Yeah, and that version of the guy coming out, the wall presser, came from Mr. Chicken's prop shop, I think.
I thought it was Atlas. Wait,
They have one, I believe, but this one was Mr. Chicken. Mr. Chicken, Ghost of Mr. Chicken, another good movie, by the way, another old Halloween classic. But Mr. Chicken, shout out to you. He's got some cool projection effects you can buy too. Some of these scenes are so dark on my phone.
This is.
I like this. This is one of my favorite scenes too. You got the Demi Dog. Yeah, little subtle things. Yeah, it's a good call, Jordan. We added light movement in here because movement draws people's attention, so we didn't want it static. So we added movement. And you'll notice the same thing on this picture, that subtly it starts to come alive. You start seeing the arms and head move just a little as the picture comes alive.
So as it was before, it's grown.
Teach me, Dave.
And I think I just saw a falling star,
Huh?
a shooting star. Like in real life, not on the projection.
I thought you were talking, like when you first started saying that, I'm like, wait, did you say I could learn or something on projection?
I'm gonna have to put this video into After Effects and bump up the brightness to see if I can see the shooting star.
Wait, was it on there too?
So the Patreon account is at patreon.com/BairdManor. And so what we have is the different tiers gets access to different assets. Like the $3 tier gets you images. And so a lot of the walls and textures that you're seeing on all of our shows, we'll put those walls and textures up there. The $9 one gets you access to video effects. And then there's a $25 one, which is higher, that gets you discounts for shows, and you get the premium effects that used to be on Hauntworks, like the dueling ghosts and all of those. I appreciate it. Thank you. This one took 3 weeks. 3 dedicated weeks where I was spending a lot of time on it. Yeah, Don Knotts. Yep, that's the one. So Ghost of Mr. Chicken is Don Knotts, and now there's a guy whose website is, I think it's Mr. Chicken's Prop Shop, something like that. We also watched Private Eyes with Don Knotts and Tim Conway. I think it's Tim Conway. So we're gonna have to watch the gorilla one next, but I need, if you have any other ideas for movies we should watch, let us know. The pillars look pretty realistic too, with the shadows in person. It's 3D. It's a good one, isn't it? Attaboy, Luther! Thank you, I appreciate it. And this is my favorite of all the scenes. The Creole House shows up really bright. The trim worked out really well. It looks 3D as well. So this is my favorite.
Yeah, but I know what your favorite part about. Like,
You know my favorite part?
Yeah, the scene.
Yes, this is my favorite part, and my favorite scene is about to come up. Oh, Trick or Treat, yes. Is that not the Disney one we just watched, but the one with the weird kid with the burlap thing on its head? Is that the one?
Wait,
Oh, here comes
the
the best
lights
part.
on the door too.
Oh yeah, okay, here's another little detail right there. The light shining in the door, and then when they open the door, it gets bigger. Like it would as if they were actually opening the door. Okay, I'll go try that. I'll go try the Trick or Treat one. Atmos has some Trick or Treat assets, actually. They do. Not the Trick or Treat Disney, the Trick or Treat with the dude with the sucker, and the burlap bag over its head. Okay, here we go. This is the best part.
Yeah.
This is the best. I like that part.
It just sounds so good.
Grandfather clocks are cool. I wish I had a grandfather clock now.
Oh yeah, the porter kept showing up.
You bet. I hope this is helpful. It's a lot of work. A lot of people have heard me kind of ramble and lecture about the early adoption curve. With new technology, there's always this kind of curve of adoption, assuming that it's a popular thing. But the early adopters, it's usually expensive and it's usually difficult to get it up and running, but they're also the ones that get to be the first one in their neighborhood doing something really cool like this. Like I remember when synchronized lights were that way. Synchronized lights, the first couple people doing it, was just amazing because no one was doing it yet. But then eventually, everybody's doing it, right? And it's still cool, but it loses a lot of its novelty. So we're in that early adopter phase where hardly anyone's doing this, but that means it's a challenge to get it all up and running. But then it just looks amazing. I might have some people walking over to watch it tonight.
When I was in too, all the projections were
Very cool, huh? We got to bring in those projectors tonight. That's the worst part of this, is bringing the projectors in that night after the haunting is done and we're tired, and then we got to gather up all the projectors and bring them inside. Now, I deliberately delayed this part at the end to make people think that we forgot Eddie Munson. We didn't forget Eddie Munson or Chrissy, and the most epic metal scene ever. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate it. I'm actually pretty new with the video stuff. Like 2 years ago, my nephew did the first show, And my first official Adobe After Effects projection show was a year ago. Yeah, it was about a year ago. So I'm a noob. I'm learning this stuff myself. It's very addicting though. Eddie Munson and Stranger Things bringing Metallica back. Did another show for a DJ recently and had a Metallica segment in there too.
And you can tell he's not actually playing it.
I think he actually was playing it. Or do you mean the music? Because the music's not synced? Yeah, in order to find an audio clip that would work,
Because
I didn't use the one from the show.
And it just has his mouth moving.
Yeah. Most metal ever! Cool. Well, there we go. Everything on the front of the house is working really good. We tested out the hardware. Everything's looking good. The backyard's got a lot of work left to do, and we had some technical problems. But all in all, I think we're going to be as ready as we can be by October 1st coming. So any other questions before we wrap this up? I did mention I was going to show the enclosure again for those that didn't see it. So let's shine a light on that. We've got a very bright flashlight. This is, well, I was going to say it was based on the design from Digital Pressworks, but that is a disservice to Matt and his website. His design is good. My implementation of it is not. Yeah, come on down to Utah. And if you did come down, there's a lot of projection mapping to see. Oh, we got, the shows are still playing. So there you go. And then for people that come up, we have a foam tombstone here as well that we have. We project a tombstone on there with the station that they tune to when they pull up. So I think that's about it. Any other questions before we wrap up? This projector is the Optima EH412ST. It's a 4,000 lumen short throw projector, 1080p. And then the other one in the back is about 4,200 lumens. It's a laser projector. That's the Optima ZH406ST. And so those are my two big ones. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and hope you guys are having a good Halloween, and we'll see you guys around.